It isn't cowering in a corner. It's just understanding who you're dealing with and his ways and what he views.
This is the Jim and Terry Show. No, it's the Jim Preaching Show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know we were on. Sorry,
It's
Terry.
going to be hellfire and damnation, or variations on that theme. Or the theme maybe is just fear, because I think we use fear to control people, and we use dogma to instill control. Control's based on fear, and it goes around in a vicious circle. But we're going to move past fear, or maybe we're going to stay stuck in it. I'm not sure which way this is going to spin, but the topic is going to be current events, and we're going to talk about all things political in nature, maybe geopolitical, and where that goes, I have no idea. But I'll start off with the notion that the GOP has been using as their source for the Impeach Biden campaign, that committee led by Jim Jordan, James Comer, among others, that I would link in as ne'er-do-wells, saying that their primary source, a guy called, and this is odd for me because it's also a great vodka, Smirnoff, who's now admitted to being in the control or managed by the FSB, which is the Russians' version of the CIA and FBI. And now nothing that he has said is reliable in terms of Biden's $5 million bribe from Burisma. It's all under the bus now.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, you got your Jim Jordans that are just going to say, well, that was only part of it. No, that was your key. You said it yourself. You've got them. You've got them because of this, and it was all from
reliable
Russia.
Source.
Yeah, well, you're getting your sources from Russia. Listen, our listening audience, you'd be amazed what you're getting from Russia. You got to just grab some of the wisdom of the old folk. I'm telling you, we've been there, done that, and seen it. So the GOP's done, as far as I'm concerned. They have sold their souls to Putin or whatever they've done. They're not firing on all pistons here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just want, they're going to do this. They're going to stand in the way of progress. They all went on friggin' vacation when people are dying in the battlefields. I mean, you guys are disgusting, in my opinion. Quit your job. Let someone get in there that's going to do it. You wouldn't expect that from me, were you?
We usually fire politicians, and we fire them in elections.
Yes.
So it's coming up. But, there's so many questions. So one of my key themes is from the Mueller report, the Mueller investigation. Russia is still an operating principle. It's still Russia. It was in 2016.
Yeah.
I was rereading some of Peter Strzok, and Strzok was the one Trump threw under the bus and drove over and backwards and forwards over that guy's career from the FBI. He was the Russia specialist for U.S.-Russia intelligence. And I think he called it right. So here is Russia, still Russia.
Yep.
It was coming into 2016. It was in 2020. And we're still being cautioned that they, among other host of ne'er-do-well nation states, China among them, and North Korea as the other triumvirate of evil, have influences to peddle, have bots and armies of trolls to manage. And we are being inundated. Facebook, Meta, TikTok, all these sources are, if you're getting your news and your reliable source from social media, I think you'd really need to give your head a shake and explain to me why social media might be better than mainstream media for reliability. And I've often argued that put a book out, you have to research it. It has to be vetted. To make any kind of claim in a public space, it has to be vetted before it's disseminated. Only in social media can you get away with saying anything to anybody for any reason, and usually the reason is filthy lucre, money, monetization, numbers, clicks, likes, share, forward, and spread the fake news. Start spreading the news. Da, 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 da. I want to be a part of... How do we get down this crooning? But I love it. The inner crooner. Nice trombone, by the way.
I know what I'm doing.
You're multi-talented. Yeah, so there
You
we
didn't
go.
even see that in my
Russia.
pocket. You thought I was just happy to see it.
So here we go. This is just breaking news, really. It's the story of this week, the past 2 days. Why aren't the GOP, like you said, if this was a Trump reality TV show, you're fired. Every single one of you from the GOP should be fired. You know, the usual suspects, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, James Comer, Jim Jordan, and the list goes on. Why are they still ostensibly, and I use these finger quotes, these little rabbit things.
I see those, yes.
Yeah, you see those? So the quote is serving America. Actually, that's what Congress does. That's what Senate does. Serve the people. Or
Well,
do
they're really, in my opinion, they're serving each other. They're serving themselves.
this is
They're
Dylan's
fighting-
song. Who are you serving?
They're fighting the existence of this party,
Yep.
where they should have shunned off Trump right when the insurrection was started. Get rid of him. Start a brand new movement. They're so afraid of this guy. They're so afraid of this guy. He's frightening to think that he could be.
Maybe he's got a nuke in a suitcase at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that's where the binder of documents is, and maybe he carries it around with him.
My disappointment is in the people.
Yes.
Those who are listening to him. Those
Who
are
swallow it?
who swallow it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh.
This guy has said atrocious things.
But that's not enough to repulse us. We're attracted to that because he's strong. He's a strong man.
Yeah, well, yeah. So is So is Hitler.
Yes.
So is Putin. So is
As history
many-
informs us.
Yeah.
So is it lack of history that's making people gullible to the Trump claims? Again,
One of
I
the
used-
most disturbing interviews I had seen was just people on the streets at a Trump rally, and they asked the question: Biden for 4 years or Trump if he becomes a dictator? And they said Trump if he becomes a dictator. You idiot! That's just stupidity at the highest state ever in the minds of a human being. But that's what you're dealing with a lot of the followers in the United States. I'm sorry, my brothers. I'm sorry. You're not too bright. I'm sorry. You're just not.
We could shift the gears into Canada and say we're not too bright in Alberta or in
Oh, we're getting there.
Ontario.
Oh, we're
or-
getting there.
we
We're just more
definitely-
passive.
Well, I don't think we've had the money pumped into us that the
Yeah.
CPAC has pumped into the Conservative Party in the United States. The GOP is inundated with dark money. We don't know the source of it. We know that Harlan Crow has bought himself a couple of Supreme Court justices. And I heard John Oliver. Did you know John Oliver, the comedian?
Yep.
John, this week, tonight, or something? Whatever the
this week tonight, I think. Yeah, this
Okay.
week today.
John
or-
Oliver offered Supreme Court Judge Clarence Thomas, let me see if I got it right, $500,000 Winnebago, a mobile home or something, and $1 million a year to get off the Supreme Court. Retire, resign. He'll pay your salary. The point is not that Ginny Thomas and Clarence Thomas would do this, but the point is that it's that absurd that a comedian is offering to bribe the Supreme Court justice to get rid of him the same way Harlan Crow and other GOP dark money benefactors do this all the time under the radar of everybody. And now that we know, he's still on the Supreme Court. Not just him, but Gorsuch. Not just him, but Coney Barrett.
That's the things I don't understand. How there doesn't seem to be any repercussions for flat out evil, flat out wrong, flat out breaking the law, just flat out benefiting in your position like that. You get paid enough. You've got the respect of people. Now you're getting paid off by rich interest groups, and they're just paying you off. I don't know how you sleep at night.
Let alone how they rule on Supreme Court decision-making policies. How do you possibly rule with a clear conscience when you know you're...
Well, again, one thing I've often said is, I like my conscience. I'm glad I got one. I really am. I really am, because you see some people who don't have a conscience. Mm-hmm. Even Trump. Some of his decisions just send many to their death, and the ruining of lives just because they dared to cross you.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Trump.
Saith the Trump. And that means you don't have a conscience. You go to sleep, you lay down in peace, you pillow your head in peace, and I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't understand. So your case about Trump followers, I understand that. I go there once in a while just to see, are they still crazy? Yes, they are. But how many millions of them are crazy? And it's not crazy like a fox. It's just crazy.
Well, and the thing is they're following someone who's made it very, very clear. He's not going to go out easy. He'll take America down. He'll ruin your life, Mr. America. Mrs. America. He'll ruin your life.
What are the
And
pronouns
not
of
even
America?
care, not even care about it, because he's just going to do what he's going to do. He's a dark shadow.
Yeah, he has no moral compass.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think.
by the way, our show has been shut off already. But no, I meant by viewers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a technicality.
No.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Can you ever stop telling the truth? And by truth, I mean provable, demonstrable, measurable, quantifiable statements of fact. Can you ever stop regaling people with the facts? The other example is Fox, who's still disseminating fake news. Still, after all of this stuff, Sean Hannity personally, I forget how many, 83 individual podcasts or solo rants that he made about Russia. It's all fake news.
Was it you who sent me the video of Tucker Carlson going through the friggin' grocery store?
Yes.
Well, that was just hilarious. But what a dimwit. You know what I mean? Look
Oh, I
look
like
what
John
they-
Stewart's
oh,
word.
geez,
You're
did-
such a dick.
Yeah. Well, he is.
Yes.
I mean, but he's become a success. So he knows what he's. This is the thing that bothers me about these people. They know they're full of it. They know they're lying to the American people. And you silly Americans, you're buying it hook, line, and sinker. They're getting rich, and you're going to lose your life.
Yep.
You're literally signing your own life away. Unbelievable.
Okay, so here's the two of us, two retired guys sitting having a coffee in the morning and talking about world events. And that case of Russia and Jim Jordan, the American Congress investigating Biden for Burisma bribery. And you're sitting there with your leading candidate having 4 different jurisdictions of charges, accounts of 91 charges in those 4 jurisdictions from New York to Florida. And we have him charged and convicted of libel, of rape, of, well, this week I think is the porn star, the hush money. And that should take us down because it's not just more money for a porn star for hush money. It is actually election interference, which is a federal crime.
Yeah, well, he committed in that offense, in paying that hush money, how he did it through Cohen. He broke tax laws. He broke all kinds of laws. This man just does not believe the law applies to him. And he'll just postpone and postpone and postpone till he's dead.
Is there an orange jumpsuit in his future? Yes or no?
Fingers crossed. No.
Okay, the Jim and Terry Show signing off. Orange jumpsuits are us. Bye-bye for now.